DJ, but you feel like all the people around you are also making music and you're like, can I just be a DJ? What's up, my good vibe DJ tribe? Today's Ask Kilma question comes from our friend Odiophyl, and he says, these days most DJs are also producers, but I'm not. Am I still as legit or relevant as a DJ? I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't actually think most DJs are producers. I think that a lot of the famous touring ones are producers. However, some of them aren't even making their own music anymore because they're so busy touring. And to answer your question about whether or not you're relevant because you're not producing music, I would say there are so many different types of DJs. You can still absolutely be relevant and not be making music. And I think it's really unfortunate when DJs force themselves to make music and they're not really into it, because that is shown throughout their music, right? It's like forcing a producer of music to DJ. Their art form is in making the music, not necessarily playing the music. It doesn't mean that both can't jive together. It doesn't mean producers can't become DJs or DJs can't become producers. However, I feel like it needs to be more of an organic transition from one to the other, or finding a way to make it work. So one of the things I think about is how you've got MCs that aren't making music, but they're writing amazing lyrics, or people that write music for singers, but they're not really necessarily good singers themselves. However, they're amazing writers. And then you've got singers that can't write worth poop, but their voices are phenomenal. I think that being a producer of music can be helpful in your career if you are a good producer. I think that being a DJ, if you're a music maker, might also be helpful. In one of the interviews I did with Amber Long, she actually talked about how she was recommended to start DJing to showcase her music. So that would be an example of where that might work well. But she spent a long period of time to try to hone in on those skills so that it could be cohesive, so that it made sense. So definitely, if that's a direction you want to go in or you want to explore, go for it. But I do not think you are less relevant just because you're not making music. I mean, if you are a DJ and you are playing the music of other producers, as a producer, I appreciate that so much. I mean, yeah, if a producer listens to my music, great, but if a DJ actually wants to play it on the dance floor, that means so much to me, that they're totally relevant within my scope, within what's important to me. And there are things that DJs, like turntablists, do that I can't. I'm sure I could if I learned it, but the scratching, the beat juggling, the sampling, it's so clever, it's so incredible. It's this live performance. They're basically remixing stuff right in front of you. That's pretty incredible. But they're not necessarily making the music, right? So short question, you are totally still relevant. And the long answer, oh, I screwed that up. Short answer, you're relevant, regardless of if you're making music or not. Long answer, I just gave it to you, so that's that. I hope you found this Ask Kilma answer to your question helpful. If the rest of y'all have some questions, make sure you hashtag Ask Kilma on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, or at Kilma Music, at me. And if the rest of y'all have some interesting insight on this question, I want you to let us know in the comments below. Go ahead, type away. We will read it. We'll read it. I think we have to do a series where I actually read some of the comments to these videos.